at this afternoon's top stories. Red Cross Society makes an appeal for aid in Haiti. Prime Minister says Trinidad and Tobago on brink of economic danger, and Samsung halts production of Galaxy Note 7s. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Tuesday, the 11th of October 2016. I am Shaira Flanders. Nationally, in the wake of the devastating effects of Hurricane Matthew on Haiti, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Cross Crescent Societies have launched an emergency response operation. Locally, the president of the St. Kitts Nevis Red Cross Society, Spencer Hanley, in a previous address, encourages citizens and residents to donate cash in efforts to assist the people of Haiti with vital services, including food, shelter, water, and sanitation assistance.
St. Kitts and Nevis Red Cross Society is launching an appeal to the citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis for cash contributions to aid the victims of this disaster. Contributions to this fund should be deposited to account number 1281318 at First Caribbean Bank, the Circus Bastille, or Main Street, Charlestown. Please note, the proceeds will be forwarded to the IFRC in collaboration with other Red Cross appeals taking place simultaneously in many countries across the globe.
According to Mr. Spencer, physical donations such as clothing and food are not being accepted at this time due to the absence of sorting facilities, storage, and adequate transportation. The St. Kitts and Nevis Postal Service joined the rest of the world on Sunday, October 9th to observe World Post Day 2016 under the theme Innovation, Integration and Inclusion. In commemoration of the day, officials at the General Post Office rolled out a list of activities aimed at sensitizing the general public on the workings of the institution. In an address to commemorate World Post Day, the Honorable Ian Liburd, Minister of Posts, spoke of the opportunities available to the Federation's Postal Service.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Postal Service therefore has the opportunity to expand beyond its traditional core services and seek to take advantage by embracing new technologies due to the development of new information and communication technologies, ICTs, and the rapid expansion of e-commerce as customer expectations, needs, and tastes are changing.
Minister Liburd noted that the St. Kitts and Nevis Postal Service is on the right track to improving its standards and delivery. Activities for the World Post Day week of activities include Customer Appreciation Day, Staff Appreciation Day, a Health Day, as well as donations to the St. Christopher Children's Home and distribution of food hampers to older persons in various communities. The reigning National Carnival Queen, Angel Erskine, donated school supplies to students of the Beach Island Primary School during a handing over ceremony on Monday. A number of students and teachers gathered at the school to witness the handing over of the supplies. Ms. Erskine, while addressing the students, advised them to cherish the school supplies.
I attended the Beach Island Primary School way back then. I'm only 24, so you can do the maths. And as part of my reign, I have decided to give back to my alma mater, which I have been doing so throughout the whole year. You have been seeing me a lot. This is just my final distribution to Beach Island before my reign ends. And those 75 students, I want you to take good care of these extra school supplies. They're only additional for you, so take good care of them.
The reigning National Queen donated a number of trophies to the Beach Island Primary School earlier this year and was also seen occasionally reading to students on separate visits. Principal of the Beach Island Primary School, Mr. Virgil Jeffers, assisted the National Carnival Queen with the distribution of the school supply packages. The packages were made up of notebooks, pens, pencils, erasers, and other utensils. A total of 75 students received the school supply packages.
Hi, I'm Carla Berridge. Join me weekdays at 7 p.m. for ZIZ's evening newscast. We'll let you know what's happening in your community.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
the surprise. Miss Button entertain the lights. Can't improvise cause there's so much inside. Fashion with style, word on the street will make you smile. People show youth awareness, interest in the fashion closet, and many more that you cannot resist now. For young and old, it's not my show, that's how we roll. What's up? What's up? Who do you love? Who do you love?
And on the regional scene, declaring that Trinidad and Tobago on the brink of the danger zone economically, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on Sunday listed a series of construction projects due to come on stream shortly that are aimed at kickstarting the economy. Rowley said the proposed initiatives would help pull Trinidad and Tobago out of its grim economic state, resulting in much-needed job opportunities. He said it was the construction industry that had been proven worldwide to stimulate economic growth, the Trinidad Guardian reported. Rowley said that Trinidad and Tobago's debt increased by $40 billion over the last 6 years, while revenues pointed downward. The external public debt now stands at $23 billion, which must be paid back in U.S. currency, he added. Commenting on the devastation suffered by Haiti from Hurricane Matthew, Rowley also urged citizens to head to banks to donate. It doesn't matter how bad your circumstances, there is somebody who is worse. We talk about pressure and poverty here until you think about Haiti, he said. Guyana's government has promised to remove hurdles set up at the University of Guyana's Student Loan Agency, which have the potential to deprive students the opportunity to complete their tertiary education. Royden James has the details.
University of Guyana students protested the institution when the Ministry of Finance Student Loans Agency announced new criteria for both new and continuing students to obtain a student loan. These new criteria came on the heels of a probe of the agency, which found that students dating back into the 90s had owed the institution billions of dollars for tuition. But for some students who protested recently, their guarantors do not want to meet all the demands set out in the new student loan criteria. This now means that if students do not have a guarantor, they will be forced to not be allowed to write their final exams or would have to leave the institution until they have a guarantor. The concerns of the students were raised by Nightly News with Minister of State Joseph Harmon.
So it is something which we'll have to look at. The important thing is that we want our young people in school. We want our young people to be in a classroom. And whatever we need to do to ensure our young people are in classrooms, then we'll have to remove any irritants to that. And it is something which we'll have to look at carefully as a government, if it's in fact a problem with the students getting in the classrooms.
The minister pointed out that while the government believes there must be some kind of security for money owed, the administration does not believe the process should be onerous and one which would hinder students from acquiring an education.
I think it is something which the Student Loan Agency and the Ministry of Finance will have to look at very carefully, just to ensure that it does not affect the education of our young people. We'll have to look at it, but certainly if you lend somebody money, you expect some kind of security for it.
Minister Harmon reiterated that the government is committed to having an educated nation. He said to be hindered from having access to tertiary education is certainly not something the administration is prepared to support. Royden James, HGP Nightly News.
And on the international scene, Samsung is scrapping production of its latest Galaxy Note 7 smartphones because of a fire risk. More handsets have burst into flames despite the safety recall of millions of phones last month.
Suspended from sale worldwide, Samsung's flagship phone can still be found on some shelves on its home turf. But in reality, the Galaxy Note 7's brief and troubled life is over after the latest round of images like these, showing replacement, supposedly safe phones apparently suffering the same instances of spontaneous combustion that led in September to a global recall of the initial batch of 2.5 million. Phone salesman Pan Pyonghua says it's likely to affect his business for months to come, hitting the confidence of his customers.
The impact could be tremendous. In the past, people bought Galaxy Notes with trust in Samsung, but now, even if a new model gets released, people would wait for a while to see if the new model is okay and then purchase.
Samsung says customer safety is its highest priority. This dramatic action coming after the launch of 2 US investigations and the dropping of the Note 7 by 2 US carriers. Even here in its home market, Samsung is having trouble controlling the fate of these individual devices. Here in this market, several stalls have offered to sell me one, even if local carriers will no longer register them for use. On top of that, there are 70,000 phones from the original batch that have yet to be returned to the manufacturer, and 350,000 replacement phones that have been issued, the same type of model that is now deemed not fit for sale. It's not as if there isn't plenty of competition. It's proved perfect timing for Apple to release its latest iPhone and for Google to launch its first in-house phone, the Pixel. Some analysts say the absence of Samsung's Note 7 from this market could cost it up to $17 billion US. Consumers will still need reassuring that the problems have been identified and fixed before the next Galaxy model, likely to come in April.
If they don't resolve this one, probably consumer cannot trust this new line of products. So yes, I think that they have very little time to sell this product, but still they have to resolve this issue very quickly.
While Samsung investigates, so do the US regulators. Samsung customers looking for answers can only wait and watch the news, but not on the screen of a Galaxy Note 7.
Fighting is continuing for a second day in Indian-administered Kashmir, where Indian security forces are battling suspected separatist fighters inside a government compound. Al Jazeera's Caroline Maloney has the details.
Indian forces are fighting to retake control of government buildings near Pampur town in Indian-administered Kashmir. Soldiers and police are trying to clear suspected rebels from the compound. Fighters stormed the Jammu and Kashmir Entrepreneurship Development Institute on Monday. Explosions and gunfire have been heard.
They say that the militants have entered the building. We don't know how many there are. At the time of morning prayers, there was a fire in the building. We don't know what happened, whether the militants are there or not.
Fighting in the same complex in February left 7 people dead, including a civilian. Indian troops have attacked suspected rebels recently. Indian bases have also been attacked, and the Indian and Pakistani armies have fired at each other over the disputed border. Indian forces have stepped up security.
Patrolling. We continue with our patrols and keep carrying out surveys to keep infiltrators out.
The Indian government blames fighters coming over the border from Pakistan for regional unrest. The Pakistani government denies responsibility.
India has to blame Pakistan because all the agitations, demonstrations, processions, strikes and burns, they are all Pakistan sponsored. The Pakistan has launched a low-intensity war.
Some Kashmiris support the Indian security operations.
We have full trust in our army. We don't want them to leave. We're with them.
Others in Indian-administered Kashmir were infuriated by the killing of a rebel leader 3 months ago, prompting almost daily protests since. Indian government leaders have reacted with curfews and a security clampdown. About 8,000 people, including hundreds of civilians, have been arrested. That hasn't stopped the unrest. Caroline Malone, Al Jazeera.
And now for the weather. In the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis, present weather is partly cloudy with a chance of few afternoon showers. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy. Temperatures today will peak at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are blowing gently at 3 miles per hour from the north. Seas are slight to moderate with waves reaching 4 to 6 feet. Eastern Caribbean forecast, a building surface high pressure will generate a light wind flow across the area. Skies over the Leeward and Virgin Islands will be partly cloudy today with a chance of few showers in the afternoon hours. Conditions over these islands tonight will be fair. The Windward Islands will be partly cloudy with few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms over Trinidad and Tobago. Puerto Rico and Hispaniola will be partly cloudy with a few showers today and partly cloudy tonight. Sunset today will be at 5:52 p.m. and the sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:03 a.m. That brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Shaira Flanders. Have a good day.